Hello, welcome to AR Highlights at AWE Asia 2023. My name is Stacy, and I'm here today with Päivi Laakso-Kuivalainen, who is the Chief Marketing Officer at Immersal. Päivi gave a great session earlier, but this conversation will kind of dig a little bit deeper into the highlights of those and also a little bit more follow-ups. Before we get into the content, Päivi, would you mind giving us a quick introduction to yourself and also Immersal?
Yes, thank you, Stacy. It's nice to be here. It's nice to be in Singapore.
It's lovely to have you here.
Thank you. I'm Päivi. Well done with the pronunciation. It's a monster name, really. I'm the Chief Marketing Officer at Immersal. Immersal is a visual positioning company. Visual positioning is positioning without the satellites. So it's based on images. You can map any place by taking pictures with your smartphone. Those pictures can be sent back to our server. Computer vision algorithm will analyze those and make a map of the place. And based on that map, we will know exactly where you are or where your device is, whether it's a smartphone or AR glasses or whatever other device. So it's positioning, and this positioning can be used for many things. So I'm sure we will get back to that. My background is actually in telecoms, and I've been in this space for over a year now, and I've really enjoyed it. I think it's this kind of futuristic new world, so I really enjoy it.
Wonderful. So getting into this new world of spatial positioning, why exactly is that considered one of the building blocks for AR?
Yeah, like I mentioned, when you map a place, so take those images, you create a digital map of the place. And on top of that map, you can put any augmented reality content. It can be animations, it can be art, it can be videos, it can be navigation applications, it can be all kinds of things. So, but to be able to place those things on top of the real world, you need that map. You need to have digital version of the world. And that's what visual positioning does in a very accurate way. So that's why you need it for your augmented reality experiences.
Very necessary. But the other question is it difficult? How difficult is it to create these location-based AR experiences?
Well, it's not difficult. We've come far with the technology and with the user interfaces of the tools as well. So, and the tools are actually your smartphone. So it's not difficult. You follow the instructions, for example, in our tools. You take pictures of the place or location that you want to map, and then the tools will more or less take care of the rest. Maybe I'm making it sound too simple, but it's not difficult. The difficult part, I think, like in every creation, is to have a good idea, something that people will enjoy experiencing. Maybe it's something helpful, like navigation, or maybe it's something artistic, like decorating your favorite park with art or something like that.
So speaking of those good ideas, what are some of the most used applications of this technology, at least for now?
Yeah, we are a technology provider, so we are open to all kinds of projects. But what we see currently as sort of those projects that are moving forward are like stadiums, events, also like tourism-related stuff. We've done very interesting projects in the US and also here in Asia in those fields. But of course, we are expecting that industry type of use cases will also be realized soon.
What kind of industry use cases do you hope will kind of come down the pipeline soon, or non-industry ones as well?
Yeah, I think we see in industry that they could be more efficient in their processes, and augmented reality applications, they could offer their workforce a lot of more guidance and a lot of more information, at the location where they need it. It's good to have manuals back in the office, but if you have the instructions about a certain machine on top of the machine showing names of the different parts in augmented reality or something like that. It can make it much more easy for the workforce to do their job. So, and of course, location-based use cases are maybe the autonomous vehicles in industry will use this kind of positioning when GPS is not accurate enough or not even available, like indoors. These sort of things we expect to see in the close future.
Close future. That's exciting. Are there any current kind of barriers to a smooth consumer experience that you're hoping to continue developing and working on?
Yeah, I think this is not technology that's not yet, at least, kind of plug and play. So it is very advanced and it's working well, but you still have to, build it project by project in many cases. So you make the mapping maybe with our technology, then you have one of our partners to create experience or application based on the map. So you need like several pieces to the project, and that can be sometimes seem difficult for the customers. I think what will help is that we get together with our partners to make these kind of packages, that this is a navigation package, for a museum, and this is a package for stadium, and this is a package for industrial plant. Even if we still need to make probably some adjustments, this kind of packaging will help the customers and will make it easier to adopt AR.
Interesting. On the topic of partnerships, what kind of partnerships do you currently have that help you integrate with software players or hardware players? And are there any other kind of partnerships or integrations that you're hoping to incorporate in the future?
Yeah, definitely. Like I mentioned, we are working with many developer companies to create content on top of the world, the world that has been mapped with our visual positioning technology. So we have great partners already, but we would like more people to know about Immersal and test it and see that it fits their projects. But on the other hand, we also want to be very open for ways to experience the AR or the VPS experiences. So the glasses, we are now already integrated with Magic Leap, with X-Real, HoloLens, and some of the others. But we are looking forward to integrate with more AR glasses manufacturers, because even though AR glasses are not in everybody's pocket yet, definitely not, they make the experiences so much more immersive, especially art or entertainment, I think. And even in industry, I think it makes a big difference. So we definitely want to work more with the AR glass manufacturers, and
that sounds wonderful. Hopefully the day will come soon when everyone does have AR lenses or glasses in their pockets.
Yeah, exactly.
But until then, are there any other kind of reasons why people might be slower to adopt this technology? I mean, because we don't have, perhaps everyone doesn't have access to these AR lenses or glasses yet. That's perhaps one barrier to adoption. Are there any others that you can think of?
Yeah, I guess sometimes these experiences can be built as a separate application, but also as browser-based. So I think the browser-based option, like for example, in this summer in Japan, one of our partners made a browser-based web AR experience based on our visual positioning in a stadium. It was very easy for people because they just scanned a QR code and it opened up in their browser. So there is a certain bigger commitment has to be made if you download a separate app to experience something. So I would recommend, especially if you're trying to reach bigger masses with your AR, to maybe use the browser-based. Of course, it depends on also what kind of thing you're making. If it's not web AR is not for everything, but that's maybe an easy way to get people to get a first taste of AR.
It's interesting to hear about this success story in Japan, the stadium. Are there other kind of use cases or examples where you guys have gone and partnered with an Asian event or an Asian kind of company to do things like this?
Yeah, that was a concert event, but there has been some interesting ones in sports events, racing in Japan. Rakuten Mobile, which is a big mobile operator in Japan. They made a very interesting experience in Japan with the racing cars, so that they were real racing cars competing on a race course, and then there were e-sports drivers driving their, driving as well, and you could see in AR where they, where what was their speed compared to the real drivers on the same race cars. So yeah, there's been a very interesting project.
I feel like that'd be very fun, but also a little bit disappointing if
yeah.
you see yourself way behind.
yeah. I don't remember then how did they compare the real race cars and the e-sports cars. Yeah, it was interesting.
Are there any other kind of Asia projects coming down the pipeline?
Yeah, there's a lot of interesting projects coming up in Asia, and I think I really admire how far the Asian companies are with this adoption of AR and XR applications. So we're really looking forward to work a lot more in Asia in the coming months and years.
Kind of on that note, have you had any cool, what's been a highlight from AWE Asia from this year? Or maybe an interesting session or an interesting interaction with someone at the exhibition hall?
Yeah, it's been a very good exhibition. I've enjoyed it a lot, and I think I've had very many good discussions with different people. If I have to highlight something, it was really.
I know, it's so hard to pick. Isn't
yeah,
it?
It's hard to pick. It was really nice to have the presentation about the stadium experiences and then have the discussions. It worked really nicely that people came afterwards to the booth to have discussions and to have these questions about what we talked about. And yeah, I had Declan from our partner in Australia, so he's such a nice guy. So then I think it made a good discussion that we were able to explain use cases that were relatable to many different areas in Asia.
Well, final question. What do you hope that attendees at AWE Asia took away the most from that session, as well as from AWE Asia overall?
Well, I hope people will go home with the idea that AR is here already, also this location-based AR, so that they can already now tell their bosses and their clients and their I don't know whom partners that hey, yeah, let's do a campaign on the high rise in our city, or let's do a amazing AR game in our stadium, or things like that. So it's already there, the technology. So I hope people will start doing it already and testing things, and also I hope they saw that there's a business value in this kind of fun, engaging AR, because then people will stay longer and they will spend more money and they will feel more part of the community than before.
I really hope that process comes sooner rather than later as well.
Yeah.
Well, this has been a great conversation. Thank you so much, Päivi, for joining us. And this has been Päivi and myself from Immersal. And thank you much for joining us at AR Highlights at AWE Asia 2023.